Hello everyone and now welcome to a game. This game taking place here on Melting Valley 2.0. Alright, Melting Valley making its way back into the W3 Champions map pool. And I gotta say, maps now just feel very refreshing. Before it always felt like you were playing on the same 4 to 6 maps, and now that there's a wider range of maps, different tile sets, things like that, going back to um, what is now a classic map feels good and refreshing, and I'm interested to see what the strategies are going to be. We are looking at Sock spawning as the red human on the bottom left hand side of the map, KraV spawning as the purple undead on the top right. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that there's going to be no Twitch chat for me to get distracted by. Let me know if you guys how you guys like that in the comments below. If I get significantly more views on um, non-Twitch videos, maybe that is something to consider as well. But then again, Twitch support does keep keep the hobby going and keep the party going. And well, after so many years, it's nice to just still be able to enjoy Warcraft 3. I'm gonna be an Archmage coming in from Sock. Meanwhile, KraV gonna be opening things up with a Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord, that go wide strategy, we'll see there's that Tomb of Relics, whether or not he tries to go for a fast expansion. Now, I believe this might actually be the first time I see a Crypt Lord fast expansion here on Melting Valley. Um, I I'm trying to remember when Melting Valley came out of the map pool and when Undead started going for those fast expansion style strategies. One of the downsides here though is you are expanding relatively close to your opponent in that halfway spot, and there is quite a bit of a walking distance though overall as the Archmage now heads off to the north. Gonna go ahead and militia clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp. It's a 3-3-2 or 3-3-3 creep camp. 2 Ice Troll Trappers there. Ogre Warrior quickly getting to get taken down, followed by the Ice Troll Trappers who take bonus damage from militia. That's the first time you've heard it. Well, then you don't watch my channel enough. Remember to subscribe. Coming back around, KraV gonna go ahead and clear out the Ogre Warrior creep camp, picking up a circlet of nobility. Now gonna be summoning up a couple of beetles as well, and trying to perhaps use that use a rod of necromancy to clear out of this expansion spot down to the south. We can see that there is that 6th acolyte by KraV, so an expansion could definitely be in order as some skeletal minions and beetles are going to be getting into position. Archmage looking to clear off this Ice High Troll and Priest creep camp as well. That Frost armor does make it a little bit more difficult to clear it out with militia, but still overall, well, done in pretty good time. We're going to be looking at a Ziggurat now placed down by KraV. KraV also going to be haunting this gold mine here in just a moment. Level 2 already on that Crypt Lord. And that is a scary proposition, having access to beetles and also an impale to surround the target after they they land and get unstunned. Ice Troll Berserker are going to get finished off here. Let's take a look. There is some Rod of Necromancy chargers. There's a heal quick right there, and beetles are already out on the battlefield. Let's take a look at what is going to go down on this Footman. Footman can easily get surrounded here. No, can be able to slip free right there. No impale to try and take down that Footman, as that Footman has a bit of a head start already. Expansion already underway by Sock, both sides setting up relatively early expansions, and Socks should be up by the 4-minute 30-second mark, I believe. Meanwhile, this one will take a little bit more time since it can't be sped built. All right, Archmage gonna clear up one beetle there. A little bit more damage coming on through. Crypt Lord now making its way back around. There are a couple of illusions here as well. Only 2 charges on that wand of illusion now, as we see a quick impale trying to finish off many of those units. And well, one big impale does stun that down. Crypt Lord now looking to retreat back, already down to 288 hit points, as the skeletal minions and beetles are just making short work of many of these peasants. Footman trying to take down the Town Hall. Town Hall down to 210 hit points. It was so close to being done, but a beautiful execution by KraV to delay that. However, it is going to end up costing KraV quite a bit of units. The beetles are all going to get cleaned up, and the Archmage now sitting at level 3. All right. What is Sock's strategy and plan? It is going to be to push back the other way. Nerubian Tower is already done. Haunted Gold Mine is going to be completed, but is there enough of an army by KraV to actually defend this location? Crippler needs to clear out as many beetles as he, or as many corpses as he can, get some beetles up out onto the battlefield, and then from there try and defend it down to the south side. One Nerubian Tower is simply not gonna be enough. All right, Acolytes, well, currently on the move, trying to run away as they're taking quite a bit of damage there. One Acolyte down, a second Acolyte could get taken down as well, as we're looking at the Haunted Gold Mine now taking a bit of pressure. All right, are we going to perhaps see some repairs here? The Nerubian Towers do, in fact, deal normal damage, so that's going to, deal quite a bit of damage to those slower units. Now we just need to hit multiple targets, as the Crippler does get to level 3, and that does mean level 2 beetles. Those level 2 beetles do deal significantly more damage and are as powerful as Footmen, essentially 15 to 18 damage, more powerful than Footmen, just a little bit less on hit points. Cryptlord, however, down to 345 hit points here, could end up taking damage from those water elementals. Instead, the water elementals going after the ghouls. Ghouls are being forced to retreat back, but KraV still somehow holding on to this expansion here. All right, one ghoul gets taken down. Archmage at halfway to level 4 already. 33 supply compared to 36 army size. Where are the rest of those ghouls, as we're going to look at another Footman getting taken down as well. Cripplord also halfway to level 4, as both sides are fighting underway. All right, a little bit of slow being applied here. More ghouls coming into reinforcing. This could be a problem, as that slow does, well, does mean that those Footmen are going to be easy to pick off. Beetles now coming in from the south, 36 supply compared to 35. KraV needs to start saturating this gold mine once again. He is behind, still staying at tier 1. And meanwhile, Sock is still at tier 1 and has restarted his expansion as well. KraV gonna perhaps be able to scout this out if he decides to give chase. Archmage off to the north here. One water elemental, low hit point ghoul, gonna try and retreat back, but we saw that the tech to tier 2 has not even been started yet, meaning we are not going to be getting into into a death knight anytime soon. Water elemental, well, turns into, I guess, returns to the river, so to speak, here in Melting Valley, as that ghoul now trying to retreat back. All right, Cryptlord Illusion scouts out the expansion, and we may be looking at another, well, repeated impale by KraV to try and disrupt things. All right, Illusion coming in from the south side here. Are we going to get targeted? And here we are, Cryptlord off to the north as well. And this is going to be a repeat earlier of all of those peasants who were greatly lined up, only to end up getting taken down. One or two more beetles could, one or two more shots could do it, but it looks like Sock will be able to finish this town hall, getting all of those units, all of these peasants back at the job. All right, ghouls are starting to fall here as well. The Archmage already sitting at level 4, as the Cripplord gets to level 4 as well. Some low hit point Footmen could get taken down. Oh, but beautiful deny right there. Fireball was inbound, and death was certain. All right, more beetles popping up out of the ground, and now tech to tier 2 has already started by both sides. However, KraV has a bit of a head start. One Nerubian Tower, Necropolis, a new ziggurat being placed down as well. It looks as though the Haunted Gold Mine is also getting repaired. 11 Acolytes out here on the battlefield to keep everything, well, operational. Ghouls are going to try and retreat back, as, well, the Cryptlord needs to hang back here for just a moment. We've been seeing a lot of tier 1 units, ghouls and Footmen, and now we are looking at a scout tower about to come online. There are 2 Footmen in position here, but with the 5 ghouls, that scout tower upgrading to an arcane tower may not be able to do enough. Remember, guard towers are better against the ghouls. It is the arcane tower that's better against summoned units and those heroes. Ghouls trying to finish things off here. Low hit point ghoul trying to retreat back away, trying to get every little bit of damage that they can. And if they can, well, catch some of these low hit point Footmen before they are able to retreat back, that is just going to be experience to gain over and over. Crippler now coming back around as well. He does not have that many hit points, but he's bringing the fight over against his opponent. There's some more beetles getting summoned up, as the Arcane Tower now quickly tries to handle those beetles there. Arcane Vault, is it going to get finished? Down to 43, 21 hit points. It gets taken down. No scroll of regeneration was purchased, and now that Arcane Vault needs to be built again. A lot of low hit point footmen hiding everywhere on the map, wanting to get healed up as this ghoul kind of walk into a swarm of footmen and perhaps get taken down. Archmage still with those boots of speed able to catch up to those low footmen as the units are retreating back. KraV is now transitioning into dual crypt fiends. Will have that range. Death. Looking at Sock, I don't know if Defend has been researched yet. As well, there is no proper overlay tool, only community built ones. To show me what research has, what research has been done. Blizzard, one of the things that I would like personally as a commentator is a useful overlay tool. If I don't know, if you can't build it yourself, buy the one off of Back to WarCraft and make it publicly available. That would be awesome. Even though this one is already great. Anyways, coming back around now. Coming back around here, Scout Tower already upgraded, or already finished, but not going to upgrade. Meanwhile, Crypt Fiends are going to be forced to retreat back here. Are we going to see, what is this? No, that is, I thought that was a Dragon Roost for a second. No, that is not a Dragon Roost. You're not going to be able to hire up mercenaries there. That would actually be rather scary, as we're looking at repairs underway for the Scout Tower to get into a Guard Tower. Blacksmith now getting added in here, but Sock does seem a little bit off his game. But the Panda is sitting already at level 2, so Panda was able to get in a bunch of creeping, already sitting at level 2. So Drunken Haze Breath of Fire transition may actually catch KraV off guard, as here we are, no, not going to be Drunken Haze Breath of Fire, just going to be a flat up surround on the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord walks into the Panda and gets taken down. Whatever advantage KraV had as pretty much completely erased now. He's going to be forced to resurrect a level 4 Crypt Lord that is gold intensive. And, well, Death Knight, still sitting at level 2, has dual potions of mana. We should be looking at some obsidian statues as well. All right, we are at Black Citadel. We are, well, currently training up the Lich. Tavern could hire up that Crypt Lord, and then with the obsidian statues just continue on its merry way. KraV sitting at 62 over 70. Sock purposely staying in no upkeep in order to bank up a bit more gold. Oh, this could be bad news. KraV, one Crypt Fiend left at the tavern here with Death Knight nearby, and things seem to be going sideways. KraV, however, smart enough to try and pull that Crypt Fiend in a different direction. There's a Death Coil, gonna pick up a Wand of the Wind and now move around back on Blight. Obsidian Statue very needs to support this here. Breath of Fire could go across multiple Crypt Fiends. There's a Death Coil there already, as the Crypt Fiend able to back away again. All right, continuing the fight here, we're looking at some, well, Priest heals, low hit point Crypt Fiend trying to fight their way. Oh my gosh. No. Okay. Getting a call at 6:30 in the morning by a scam call center. How... whatever. Coming back around. Gonna go ahead and try and engage here. Crypt Lord resurrected at the tavern as the obsidian statue trying to get a little bit of coverage here. Panda Breath of Fire, and here we are going to an engagement. A big Impale coming back around, and a big Frost Nova. 1-2 punch straight out of the gate. That potion of mana transfer, absolutely huge for KraV. Breath of Fire now pushing back the other way as we see, well, Skeletal Archers in position as well. KraV now being forced to retreat back. There's another Frost Nova, and Panda could have a little bit of a bad day as we're looking at Orb of Corruption removing much of the armor. There was another Breath of Fire. 62 supply compared to 59. The Obsidian statues, the Skeletal Army, that little pop-up army, they're dealing quite a bit of damage, but now suddenly the Destroyer is online here, ready to go. Destroyer trying to retreat back down to 58 hit points. Is it going to end up getting taken down? Yes, it does. Unable to handle the damage pressure from the Water Elementals and those Fly Machines before they got ensnared. All right, more damage getting added up here. Death Knight getting up to level 3. Death Knight could easily get another big heal across other units here. Obsidian statues, well, trying to stay alive against those Water Elementals, as those Obsidian statues have no way to really heal themselves. Death Knight running back down does have, Unholy Aura level 1, able to move across the map that much faster and get into position again. 61 supply compared to 62. A great matchup here to reintroduce Melting Valley back to the professional player pool. All right, there's a Holy Light, but that's not going to be enough. Flying Machine still flying overhead. We're going to see a couple of webs down. Panda getting off a Breath of Fire again, but no Drunken Haze, just Breath of Fire damage, and Orb of Fire also making it difficult to try and heal up any targets. There's another Breath of Fire there. Obsidian Statue down to 18 hit points. It needs to try and stay alive here. As you can see, that Orb of Fire damage or the healing debuff gonna cause a bit of problems. All right, Criplord now needs to come back around. Are we gonna wait for that Death Coil? There's Death Coil a day late and $1 short, split second right there. KraV losing a Crypt Fiend. All right, Obsidian Statue down to 29 hit points. It needs to be repaired. Getting up one extra Acolyte that was off over here would have been key. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord, Lich, and Death Knight looking to clear up this Null Overseer creep camp. Archmage, Panda, level 5, level 3. Flying Machines are nearby. 61 supply compared to 64, as the main bases still have about 5 minutes of mining left. Off to the north here, Flying Machines scouting out that expansion. Don't really see anything, but there are expansions still left here on the corners of the map. That's going to benefit KraV a bit more since he doesn't have a level 5 or level 5 hero as of yet. Trying to get your heroes to level 5 is key, but the Archmage now coming back around. Orb of Fire could rack up quite a bit of damage and perhaps get some damage on that low hit point Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue purposely retreating to the back there, as the Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble. He needs to retreat back and perhaps hang around those Obsidian Statues. Death Knight, Lich is sitting at level 2. It does have a Dark Ritual over Frost Armor, as those beetles, as if KraV can get a couple of the corpses onto the ground, those beetles would then translate into a lot more mana for that Lich. All right, still fighting underway. Death Knight needs to actually stay out of that frontline spot. He's been absorbing and taking way too much damage and now it's currently showing as he's still constantly below 200 hit points. During this time right now, Granite Golem getting cleared up by the Brewmaster and that Paladin. Paladin with a Ring of Regeneration. Knights now making their way over as Sock is starting to hit his stride with Knights and Flying Machines. Paladin gets up to level 3. Brewmaster gets up to level 4. A dual level up for Sock as he's setting up an expansion here on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Claws of Attack plus 12. Archmage dealing plus 17 damage with those auto attacks while also disrupting a bit of healing. But even the map does not want perhaps the Sock to get too much of an advantage here. All right. Couple of Huntsmen poisoned up just a bit. Knights do have additional armor from that Devotion aura, but more importantly, those Sundering Blades are going to really be able to cleave into those Crypt Fiends, dealing bonus damage. KraV sitting at 85 supply over 90. I am surprised that he went into high upkeep, but well, he went into high upkeep for Necromancers. So we are going to see a sudden transition into Necromancers, that pop-up army. There are a couple of priests out here onto the battlefield, but I don't believe there's enough to actually deal with that. They're going to be getting in a lot of mana with that Inner Fire, and now suddenly there's an Impale, and now we're going to go into a fight here. Crypt Fiend trying to fight back the other way. Breath of Fire coming back across. There's some Cyclone being brought in. One Obsidian Statue getting taken down. Staff of Sanctuary saving some units. Death Knight now trying to retreat back as well, as Meat Wagons are getting in a bunch of damage here, lobbing in those attacks. All right, 78 supply compared to 76. Another big Impale coming back across. Spirit Towers and Nerubian Towers joining in on the battle, trying to slow things down, as the Necromancers, the Skeletal Mages in the back, adding as additional damage for that front line. Yeah, the Knights do have a lot of hit points and armor, but they may not be able to hold this line here, as the damage, well, is just starting to rack back up more. Knight now down to 90 hit points. Is it going to end up getting taken down 1 or 2 more shots? It should end up falling. There it goes. Level 3 now on the Lich. Lich needs a little bit more mana, as there's a lot of low hit point Crypt Fiends. Death Knight could be in trouble, down to 70 hit points. He's still somehow in this fight, using the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability pretty much at the last possible moment. Lich now still trying to give chase. He's trying to get a little bit more mana, perhaps getting a Frost Nova off on a low hit point Knight there, as the units are still trying to flee back here. Death Knight down to 134 hit points. He gets unable to finish off his opponent there, as a level 2 Holy Light gets a 400 hit point heal. the sudden transition into necromancers, perhaps causing quite a scare. Those skeletal mages do get damage upgrades, so 1-0 upgrades on those skeletal mages, but it was really the numbers that gave KraV a fighting chance in that battle. All right, KraV, however, still sitting in high upkeep, getting significantly less gold than his counterpart, as his counterpart has an expansion here on the bottom right-hand side of the map. For those who don't want to do the math, 21 gold a second compared to 8 gold a second. Yeah, quite a difference indeed. Coming back around, KraV needs to press while he has the larger army. While Sok is right behind. Even his army is pretty comparable, or supply cap is pretty comparable. But army 57 supply army compared to 76. All right, going into an engagement here. Meatwagon gonna get blown over there. Death Knight now trying to run back down. No Stormbolt or anything of that nature, as the Death Knight able to escape at 87 hit points, but has to be careful. A Breath of Fire could have perhaps finished off this Death Knight. He needs some way to try and stay alive. Mortar teams have joined in on the battle as well. There's some more damage. Death Knight purposely staying back. He needs to get closer to the Obsidian statue, and here we are. A whole bunch of skeletal mages have joined in on the fight here. Sok easily transitioning to deal with this skeletal mage army and maybe able to clean things up here, as the mortar teams with that inner fire lobbing in attacks over the head, landing onto those necromancers. Also, a couple of rounds of Dispel, making those skeletal mages, life flash before their eyes. Drunken Breath of Fire across, coupled with Dispel magic, and suddenly all of the necromancers are pretty much gone, but a couple of impales coming in as well to try and stop that mortar team damage. Low hit point Knight able to retreat back again. A Death Coil could be in order. No Staff of Sanctuary trying to save those units again. A Death Coil saving the Crippler. Crippler trying to come back the other way. Are we going to see enough mana? No, we are not. Not enough for another Impale, but this battle still raging on here. 73 supply compared to 77. But KraV here is gonna be on one base now compared to two, so 14 gold a second compared to 14 gold a second compared to 7. All right, Destroyer has no way to easily get here. The Death Knight getting lobbed attacks. He needs to use that potion of mana and use it effectively if he wants a fighting chance back in this game. Holy Light, however, saves that panda right there, as the Death Knight could try to get off a Death Coil onto some of those Destroyers who are just and then deal with the mortar teams, as the Destroyer is really the counter right there. Mass teleport underway, and with mass teleport underway and the Archmage getting up to level 6, KraV throws in the towel. Sok off to a shaky start in that matchup, losing that early expansion, and then KraV being able to set up his really opened the door for KraV. Sok, however, a couple of well-timed attacks and also setting up that expansion in the bottom right hand side of the map and having it go unchallenged for so long gave Sok the economic advantage, which eventually translated into army size advantage. KraV, however, transitioned into those necromancers, and for one battle looked like he was going to be able to regain some ground, but in the end wasn't enough gas in the tank. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments below.